You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. Joined in the studio with Paul. Best Paul, as always, it's great to have you here.
Thank you, Daniel. It's always good to be here.
I was hoping we could start off by just giving us a quick reminder about the Kemsley Light Railway.
Yeah, the railway runs between Sittingbourne Viaduct Station and Kemsley Downs Station. Sittingbourne Viaduct Station is at the old paper mill, which of course has long since been demolished and is now Morrison's. And Kemsley Down is in the active paper mill. So you go from the sort of modern shopping hub of Sittingbourne Retail Park and catch the train across the viaduct towards Kemsley Down, which is right in the heart of the paper mill and on the banks of Milton Creek. So it's a very strange tourist attraction. We were closed to the public in 2008, and although we reopened in 2010 and then fully all the way back to Sittingbourne in 2012, we're surprised how many people still think we're closed. So we're most definitely not closed, other than it being out of season. We're now beginning to see the passengers coming back, and this year we've had a 5% rise in passenger numbers, which has been absolutely brilliant.
So what has been happening, Paul?
So at the moment, as I say, we're between the season, which finished at the end of September, and Santa Specials, which will be running in December. So what we tend to do is every fortnight we have a work weekend to prepare for Santa Specials and carry out all the essential maintenance that you need to do on an operational railway. And we've started a couple of new projects as well. So work has started on the cosmetic restoration of Alpha. This is brilliant because this is our younger members are going to cosmetically restore Alpha, and we're going to continue doing fundraising, and then as they get older and learn the skills, they'll be able to take the loco into the engine shed and actually do the proper overhaul when the skills and the money are there. So this is a really good start. They started a couple of weeks ago, and they've put a new back on the footplate of the cab, which means that the rain won't get in so easily onto the floor and then rust the floor away. So it's a really good start, and it's really good that it's today's youngsters, because they're really cutting their teeth on learning the skills to take the railway forward. So it's really, really good. And another loco that's undergoing restoration, although this one will be completed much sooner, is Premier, and we're selling tubes. You can sponsor a tube for the boiler. So inside the boiler, because obviously you're heating up water with the coal, to get the hot air from the fire through the water to heat it up, you have lots of tubes through the tank, through the boiler, and each of those tubes needs to be replaced. And on Premier, that's 70 tubes, which is quite a few tubes, and they're about 12 foot long, and they all need replacing. So far we've sold 31, and at £50 each, they're a good Christmas present, just saying. So yeah, we've got lots going on down there. We've got another work weekend coming up this weekend, so it's going to be busy. We're going to be at Kemsley Down this time, so we meet at Sittingbourne at about 10 to 10 on Saturday morning, and then a train will come down from Kemsley to pick everyone up, and the works train will take them to Kemsley Down, and then about 4 o'clock in the evening, unless the weather's really bad, it'll be earlier, the train will come back down to Sittingbourne and drop everybody off and release them back into the wild. So it's a really good way of finding out how the railway runs and meeting people and getting some exercise and for getting absolutely filthy and freezing cold, and then it's amazing how quickly you warm up. So it is really good fun. Everyone's welcome to come along and help out, but do be aware that once that train leaves at 10 o'clock, that's it. It doesn't come back till gone 4. So it is a full day, but we will give you tea and coffee and lunch.
You could just go through our listeners what a journey's actually like on the railway.
Yeah, sure. So as I said earlier, we start from Sittingbourne Retail Park. You have to climb up some quite steep steps at the moment, although this winter we're hoping to replace the steps, and hopefully next year we'll even have ramped access for wheelchairs. So things are looking good for our Sittingbourne Viaduct station. This was the site of the former transfer sidings where trains would come out of the mill or come off of the wharf from the creek and then be made up into longer trains to be taken out over the viaduct to Kemsley and to Ridden Dock beyond that. So we now have our station up there, pretty much on the same alignment as the old sidings, and then the train climbs out of the station onto the viaduct, and the viaduct itself is about 100 years old. They started building it in 1914, and it's made of reinforced concrete. It's about 1 kilometre long, so it's quite a long viaduct. It varies in height as it goes along, and it winds its way out through Milton Regis, through the edge of Milton Regis. And the reason it's so windy is because it used to all be very built up round there, and it sort of went between the houses and the streets, and all of that has gone. There's just absolutely, you have to really use your imagination to picture it now, or look through through the museum where we've got a display showing you that sort of thing. So then after the viaduct, the line goes on to there's 2 stations. So it's all called Milton Regis has the halt. The little platform on the left as you go through on the way to Kemsley was really badly vandalised, and that was the one that we were using, so it's really unfortunate. So that station is going to remain closed for quite a time because we just don't know how to rebuild it because it's on top of an embankment. And just a bit further on the right hand side is a longer platform which was used when the railway was closed, not just in the 90s when the viaduct was closed, but also in 2010 and 2011 when we couldn't go to Sittingbourne. So that platform's still there, but because you can't get across the track to it, that's why the station's closed, and the vandalism has just absolutely wrecked the old platform, which is a shame. And then the railway passes through Milton Creek Country Park, and the marshes on the creek side are saltwater marshes, and the marshes on the village side, the Kemsley village side, are freshwater marshes, and we sort of act as a dam between the 2 marshes. So you'll get different birds on one side to the other and different plants as well, and it's quite interesting when you go down there, particularly in the summer, and you've got all the different insects buzzing around. And then we go under the Sittingbourne Northern Relief Road, which is the Swale Way, and that's a brilliant place to get pictures of the trains, and particularly with the Santa specials coming up in December, that's a really good place because on a cold day the steam really comes out really strong, and it will be a really good place to get some photos, and I must remember to do that this year because I keep forgetting. And then as you arrive at Kemsley Down, you go into the paper mill, and it's sort of been creeping up on you as you go along the line, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you're in the paper mill area. And I like to think of us as a little bit of tranquil space in the middle of a very noisy, very busy paper mill. It's Britain's largest paper mill, and there's us sitting in the middle of it. So it's a really good run. It takes about 15 minutes. It's nothing special on the train. You've got a little bit of padding if you're lucky, but it is a wagon that's been converted to a coach over the years, either by us or by Bow Walters before us. So don't come along expecting the Orient Express, because you're not going to get it.
So what else can you expect to see at the railway, Paul?
So unfortunately, Sittingbourne has got very basic facilities. We've got a ticket office, and that's about it at the moment, but we are raising funds for more down there. But at Kemsley Down, that's our main base, so there's lots going on at Kemsley Down. You've got the museum, you've got the shop, you've got the Footplate Cafe, there's picnic areas, play areas, museum walk, and the wildlife area as well, which has won a couple of awards. The railway's rare in the preservation world as well, so we've got original locomotives, wagons, and even buildings from the Bowwaters Light Railway, and you can see those at Kemsley Down. And our close proximity to Elmley Marshes enables us to see a variety of wild birds. And if you want to go for a scenic walk, although I wouldn't recommend this on a Santa Special Day, you could go along the Saxon Shoreway, which passes the railway's back gate. And in the summer, we can even sell you single tickets so that you can walk one way and train back, or the other way around.
And I think we're going to cover what the fares are for the Santa Specials next.
We certainly are. So I can tell you all about the Santa Specials. We always try to be quite a reasonably priced day out. So this year we held our prices, and the Santa Specials are no exception. So it's £12.50 for everybody aged over 3, and £9.50 for the under 3s. If you book for the first weekend in December, either the Saturday or the Sunday, you get up to £1.50 off each ticket. Children under 13 get a present, and everybody else gets seasonal refreshments. And the way we do it is, when the train arrives at Kemsley Down, Santa will meet the train and walk everybody over to the Footplate Cafe, and then at some point, so not necessarily straight away, you might want to have a cup of coffee first and then go up, but Santa will see each child individually in the grotto, and then as you speak to Santa, you come through, and once you've spoken to him, you get a choice of toy from a large selection of quality toys. So we're not going to give you a random package that you don't know what you're getting. You'll be able to choose the toy from the selection, and that's, you know, one of the reasons why it's £12.50 for everyone, because we spread the cost across everything. Plus, of course, if you're an adult or over 13, you're going to get a cup of tea or coffee or hot chocolate, and some food. So we like to do it as an all-encompassing package, so you can have it. You're going to be at the railway for 2 hours, so it's just to make you feel welcome, and hopefully you'll enjoy your time there. Things like the museum will probably still be open, and depending on the weather, you might want to go for a walk around the site, but sometimes it does get bitterly cold. The trains are going to run every Saturday and Sunday before Christmas in December, and Monday the 21st of December, and they leave Sittingbourne Viaduct at 11 a.m, midday, 2 p.m. and 3 p.m, and as I say, it takes about 2 hours for a return trip for Santa Specials, so that everybody gets a chance to see Santa in the grotto, and then he'll come round and you'll be able to talk to him when he's not in the grotto as well. You must book early though, because obviously we've only got a certain number of toys, so the earlier you book the better, really. I know that one train is already fully booked, but yeah, so if you book now for Christmas, as I say, the first weekend it's £1.50 off, and you will be secured a place. So, you know, when you'll turn up, get on the train, and you'll know that you're all right. And the telephone booking line is 01795 428 269. You might have to leave a message, but Alan will get back to you and book you in.
So, Paul, how else do you spread the word?
So obviously I do interviews like this, press releases in the local media, and the all-important model railway exhibitions and open days, where we can actually get out and meet and talk to the general public and explain what we do. So our next exhibition is the 21st and 22nd of November, just over the water in Southend. It's the Shoebury Ness Model Railway Club's Festival of Model Railways and Hobbies at Southend Leisure and Tennis Centre, and that's 10 till 5 both days. It's a great exhibition, and we've been doing this one for many years. Give out our leaflets and Santa special stuff and sell souvenirs, so that's always a good exhibition. And then the following weekend, 28th and 29th of November, we've got the Broadstairs Model Railway exhibition at St George's School on Westwood Road in Broadstairs, and that's 10 till 5 on the Saturday and 10 till 4 on the Sunday, and that's another great exhibition, although, you know, like Southend, it's still quite a trek. So if you want to not travel quite so far, I will be in Sittingbourne High Street on the 28th of November, on the day the Christmas lights are turned on, and we'll have a small sales stand, and we'll be able to give you more information about the Santa specials, and hopefully by then I shall have the leaflets for next season as well to hand out.
I was going to say, Paul, one of the things you always do is talk about the railway, but what is it you actually most like about it?
Well, I did have a break in 2000 to 2004 when I didn't go to the railway because I moved to Hampshire, and I just didn't like it and I had to come back. So I just absolutely love our railway. It's a lovely little unique railway that's taken on the Bowwaters Light Railway and made it its own, and you know, it's just a great little railway, really friendly, and we are like one big family. So it is just such a great little line, and it's so often forgotten, even by railway enthusiasts. So we don't get overrun very often with people, so that's always nice as well. So sometimes, you know, if you come down on a Sunday and it's a bit quiet, if you ask someone, I'm sure they'll take you around the engine shed, things like that. We can always do stuff for people, and I think that's really nice.
Can you tell me about the membership of the railway, Paul?
We certainly can. We've got quite a small membership. We've got about 200 members worldwide, and a high percentage are active members. It's probably about 80 or so a year, of which there's a core of about 40, maybe slightly less, that are down at least sort of monthly, if not more regularly than that. So it's got a good attendance from members, and we're all volunteers, so nobody's being paid to be there either. So it's really good that we have such a good turnout, and we understand that as you are a volunteer, you know, you don't have to be there. We always need more members, though. Over the last sort of 6 or 7 years, we've lost quite a few very key members, and it's not until they're gone you realise how much they did, and then it's trying to catch up with maintenance or whatever whatever they were doing that you didn't realise that they were doing. And we're not all old fuddy-duddies, you'll be pleased to hear, and we've got quite a large section, junior membership section, and we've got quite a few youngsters as well. So it's really good, and that's how I started 25 years ago as a junior member. So, well, more than 25 years ago now, but we won't count them. So yeah, it is a really really good experience, and the best way to get involved is to come along to a work weekend, like this weekend, or in 2 weeks' time, so every fortnight in the off season.
So how do you actually become a member if that's something you'd like to do?
So you can pick up a form during a work weekend or download one from the website. Membership currently costs £5 for junior members, £18 for adult members. A junior member is aged between 14 and 17. So there's some things that you obviously can't do at that age. So when you become an adult member at the age of 18, there's a lot more that you could be doing. So you could be guard, station master, fireman, all sorts. So so that's £18 for adult members, and then there's £35 for family membership, and £300 for individual life membership. And there's if you're over 60, there's a life membership for you as well, which is £150. You get to travel free on the railway, so that gives you discounts to both our Steam and Beer Festival in July and the Santa Specials in December. We have a quarterly New Bogey magazine, which is based on the old nickname of the railway, which used to be the Bogey. And in that, you'll find out what's going on at the railway. And there's usually some informative articles about members' trips abroad. And then working members get a discount in the Footplate Cafe. But it must be remembered that membership runs from April to March. So if you were to join now, you'll get a few back issues of this year's New Bogey, and then your membership will still run out in March. So it's just something to be aware of. So we're not really open now until the end of March for the season. So you may want to be a little bit picky about when you join. Although if you want to come down and help out, which we thoroughly encourage, join up now.
So I think you wanted to talk a little bit about the SOS Film Nights next, Paul.
Yeah, so the SOS Film Nights, SOS being sort out Sittingbourne Viaduct, not the whole town, just Sittingbourne Viaduct Station. This is our campaign that we launched last year in light of our fire at Sittingbourne and the loss of the last of our buildings. So we're still trying to raise funds for Sittingbourne Viaduct. We'd like to get some toilets and some electricity and other exciting mod cons. But obviously that all takes a lot of fundraising and it's going to cost a lot of money. So one of the things I came up with was the SOS Film Nights, which was to show a railway related film every month, and for the reasonable price of £5 at the Avenue Theatre in Sittingbourne. So right in the middle of town, you've got this lovely little theatre, and they've been showing the films every month since January, and also last November when we did the pilot one. I'd like to say they've been a success, but I'm afraid they haven't. So the last two are coming up. The 14th of November will be Planes, Trains and Automobiles. This one I've cheated slightly because of course the train bit is only sort of in the middle for a couple of minutes and at the end for a couple of minutes. But it's a brilliant film. I absolutely love it. It's Steve Martin and John Candy. It's a great film. And then in December, on the 12th of December, we've got the Polar Express, which is a modern classic animated movie, and a really good Christmassy film as well. As I say, that's all at the Avenue Theatre, and tickets are £5 each.
Paul, I was hoping before you go you could just refresh our listeners on the Santa Specials and of course cover any useful contact details.
Yeah, sure. So the Santa Specials are going to be running every Saturday and Sunday in December before Christmas, and Monday the 21st of December as well. They leave Sittingbourne Viaduct Station at 11 a.m, midday, 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. They cost £12.50 for everybody over 3 and £9.50 for the under 3s. Although there's £1.50 off tickets booked for the first weekend in December. Children under 13 get a present and everyone else gets seasonal refreshments. And that your tickets must be booked in advance, and you can do that right now by calling 01795 428 269. If Alan's not there to answer the phone, leave a message and he'll get back to you as soon as he can. And we look forward to seeing you down the railway It's going to be really good fun again this year. Our other contact information is our website is www.sklr.net, and on there you'll be able to find our posters, our weekly update, timetables, events, membership information, a virtual tour of the railway, when the film nights are on, away sales, everything. So pretty much everything you'll find on our webpage. You can phone our telephone hotline for information, which is 01795 424 899. Although this is a recorded announcement line, so don't phone that number for the Santa specials. We have working Wednesdays and work weekends, and if you want more information about those, you can email info@sklr.net. We obviously have a Facebook page, so if you do a search for S&KLR, which is capital S ANDKLR, you should find us there. We are on Twitter as at capital S lowercase AND capital K capital L capital R, and of course the podcast, which I'm hoping to revive after Christmas or for Christmas, but we've now even got an app in the Apple App Store. So if you go to do a search in iTunes or the App Store, do a search for Sittingbourne and you'll find us in there. It's the Sittingbourne Steam Railway app. Or you can look us up on YouTube. It's www.youtube.com/Stopham, which is spelt Sierra Tango Oscar Papa Echo Mike. And that is us, really.
Paul, as always, it's been great to have you here at the studio. Thank you very much once again for coming along.
It's been brilliant. Thanks very much.